Hi everyone, welcome back to New Dram Drinker. We're going to review another whiskey for you today. So watch this video while I pour myself a dram of that whiskey and then we'll all be on the same page as to what it is. Okay, so as you saw from that video, it is the, I'm going to try and say this right because I've been saying it like 3 different ways, so I'm going to pick the one that I think is the right one. So the one way I've been saying it is Aberlour, then another one was Aberlour, and then I think it's Aberlour. So it's the Aberlour A'Bunadh. This is one of these whiskies that you hear a lot about when you start your whiskey journey. It was one that was always on the radar, and it's just one that we never really bought because I used to look at the price of it and it was like £90, and that, you know, it's a good lot of money really for a whiskey for us to buy. So it was always kind of put onto the back burner. Every now and then it pops up at a bit cheaper, which is why I've got a bottle now. But it was always just a little bit of a push for us to buy, so we never actually did. And to be honest, there was another reason why we didn't buy it. You know I love bottles, and there's just something about this bottle that didn't sit right with me. So we're going to get onto that now. So let's take a look at the bottle. Okay, so going back to what I was just saying, I just think the bottle is a bit gobby. It's a bit like, I don't know, chunky and not very refined. I mean, it's got the wax on the top, but it's got a massive like hole, for want of a better word. It's just not very refined. But then when it came, and it comes in this gigantic tube that you can get your arm inside, and it all kind of starts to work a little bit better. I think the design elements kind of, it just wants to be seen on the bar, and it comes at that rather than being an elegant kind of shapely bottle. It's basically like the bully of the bar, I would say. It's like I'm here and I'm taking my spot, and it doesn't have to take a big spot up on the bar. So I've kind of grown to, I wouldn't say love it, but appreciate what it's trying to do. Okay, so we know from the notes online on their website that it's non-chill filtered, but it doesn't mention anywhere whether it's coloured or not. I'm thinking the fact that it doesn't mention it means that it is, because usually you'd scream and shout from the high hills that you've got a whiskey that is natural colour. So I'm not going to go too much into it, because if it isn't, you know, if it has had colouring in it, then it's pointless going into it too much. I mean, it's a colour you'd expect it to be for kind of a Oloroso sherry cask kind of thing. So yeah, pretty much it, but we'll just leave it at that, to be honest, and we'll get on with the nosing. So even though it's 59.9 on the nose, it doesn't necessarily come across kind of that strong. It's very inviting. It's very fruity, very rich. It's got what I would class as quite a thick and like creamy nose, if you can get creamy from a nose, but it just comes across like almost like a treacle on the nose. It's very kind of moorish in that way. Makes you want to drink it, which is a bonus. Dark fruits, all the sugars, brown sugar, vanilla. It's very, I think we've said this before, very cakey. It's got all those kind of elements, maybe a bit of icing sugar as well. It's almost a bit more of a dark fruit cake though, rather than a sponge cake. Yeah, but the ABV definitely doesn't, you wouldn't know that it was going to be a high ABV on the palate going off the nose. Right, so I'm going to go to my notes because I've been drinking it all week, and my notes, to be honest, I'm quite proud of them because they're quite in depth, so we'll get through them quickly so we don't keep it too long. Sherry, thick nose, sugars, raisins, perfume. I think that is almost like a, because the ABV is there, but then you've also got this really kind of fragrant kind of fruits going on as well, and it's almost, and I don't mean it that it comes across as a fake kind of note, but it's just, I want to slap some on and go out for the night, so it's just a lovely nose. Dark fruits, slight mustiness, yeah, there's definitely that there. It's almost like a, as if you haven't cleaned your glass out before you drank it, which I know I did. It's almost maybe there's a bit of dust maybe along around the edge or something. It's not a bad note, it just makes you think of kind of like just a bit of oldness. It sounds hard to say, but just a bit of age maybe. What else have we got? Slight furniture polish. I think that goes hand in hand with the kind of the notes that you get with the ABV. It's just there. It's not too bad, but it just gives it that almost, I don't know. It's a strange note. It's hard to explain, but it's definitely like when you spray an aerosol or a furniture polish and you get that mist come down and you get those kind of fruity. You think, oh, what's that? That smells nice. It's just like that. It's like it's clean but musty at the same. So anyway, it's like a musty bookcase. Then you've kind of furniture polished it and cleaned it. That's kind of a little bit like what it is. Freshly picked ripe red orchard fruits. Agreed. Yep, those are the fruits. Plums, cherries, and a warm dusty smell of apples stored in a barn. Blimey, I was a bit, I was on the ball there, wasn't I? Yeah, I agree. It's definitely got that. It's that kind of wood. Yeah, like a damp, wet barn. Maybe it's been raining and like you get that really nice woody smell. But you get like the fruit, maybe the boxes that apples sometimes come in, if you know, like the butchers or the greengrocers. And it's a winter warmer, yeah, definitely. It definitely makes you want to drink it, and you know it's just going to warm you up as well. So, should we move on to the palate and see what it's got? Instantly, whew, that ABV kicks in straight away. It's taking no prisoners on the palate with the ABV. The 59.9 is definitely showing itself. Not to the point where it overpowers the other flavours. The fruits are all still there as well. It's very, very sippable. You wouldn't want to be drinking it too quick, let's put it that way, but it is pleasant. It's really pleasant. Second mouth, that ABV is really dulled down now. It wasn't my first whiskey of the night either, so it's not like I hadn't had a drink already, so my palate had been primed, but that first sip was still quite a big punch of ABV. It's, like I said, it's very similar to the nose. It's all the fruits, all the kind of the pastries, the cakiness. I think it was very reminiscent of kind of like a Christmas cake that's been drenched in like whiskey or brandy or wherever it is, and you kind of you eat it and you get that kind of really nice juicy kind of fruits all coming into your mouth from the from the sponge and stuff like that. But yeah, very nice. I'll go to my notes. Spirit is up front, then thick and juicy fruits. Agreed. Spices, yep, there's definitely the spices, because that goes hand in hand with kind of like the Christmas cake as well, with all the like the cinnamon and things like that inside it. Just really, really nice and rich. ABV is very present. Warm, drying, dark brown sugar. Oak, yep, definitely got the wood there. It's still got that kind of the barn notes going on kind of thing. So it's just a really pleasant drink. That ABV obviously hangs around forever, so that's a very kind of overriding kind of part of the finish. but then you almost get a bit of spiciness as well. Maybe a little bit of pepper kicks in on the finish, and that just rides along with that ABV and just kind of hangs around. It's a very long finish. I can still taste it now. Those notes are still there. There's a bit of fruit at the start, but that kind of peters out just into a peppery, spicy kind of finish. Very long spices last forever, and warming again. Yeah, it is warming. It dries your mouth out a little bit, but then it almost dries it out at the start, but then by the time it's finished, your mouth's watering and you want to drink some more, which is perfect, isn't it? But yeah, it is a lovely, lovely dram. So we will get on to the award. So it's time to award this little beauty of a dram. This has made me really think of kind of winter, and when winter's just coming in and you've got kind of like all the leaves are falling down off the trees and it's just starting to get a little bit chillier, you know, and you can feel it's turning into the winter, which it definitely is here. So this is the perfect dram for us. It's just really kind of, you know, autumnal. It's just really kind of a pleasant drink. It really does make me want to kind of put a blanket around me and just sit on the sofa, watch telly with Nick, and just chill out for the evening. You know, Halloween's around the corner and things like that. It's all just those kind of the oranges and browns, and just makes me think of that kind of thing. It's just a really, really good dram. So with that said, I'm going to call this one the Spicy Oaktober. And I think it deserves that because it is an awesome warming dram. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's definitely a whiskey that I would recommend you getting, but what I would say is it's probably worth it when it's £60. You're getting a good buy for £60, I would say. But if it's touching £90 sometimes, I probably would think twice about getting it then, to be honest. I'd just wait, because it does tend to go up and down quite regular, so I'd just hang around until you can see, especially with Christmas coming up. You know, Amazon have the Black Friday deals. You'll get one, I would have thought, no problems. Also, that I know there's different batches of, this is batch 62. I know that earlier batches, I think in the 40s range, were a lot different to this one. I mean, I enjoy this one, and those are meant to be even better. So if you've tried one of those, please let me know what you think of that. And if you've tried this one as well, or close to the same batch, let me know what the differences are, because I'd really like to know, because I've never tried any of the others before. So I'd really like to know what you think. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the thumbs up and subscribe. And we just really appreciate your time. Thank you. We hope you have a great weekend and a great week. We'll see you next week. And as we always say here on New Dram Drinker, pour it, drink it, enjoy it. It's all right.